Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of SimCity Ultimate City. For me it's been a while since I last played. I want to say thank you for all of the wonderful feedback on the series so far. You guys seem to really be enjoying my approach to this game. But we are at a interesting situation right now, and before I talk about that I must point out that we are now in the 3.0 update. So the game has been updated. This is not only the first time this city has been opened in it, but I haven't even opened up a test world or anything like that to check this out, so that's why the game is paused. We're going to resume and just observe everything for a moment here, because where we left off the city in the 2.0 patch, and we just done Team Mayor, grant approvals for 10 buildings in the region. I don't know what exactly grant approvals are, but we've got 10 of them in this region, so that's okay. Yeah, so this is my first time seeing the 3.0 patch. Supposedly traffic is improved greatly. I did watch a video where someone went over all of the individual points one by one, and to be honest, not too many of the fixes sounded that smart, but supposedly they do make a difference. Now one thing we can do is get rid of this road up the end here, because they're going all the way to the end just to turn around and come back down again. Nope, we don't want to demolish that bit. Yeah, we left the city in a pretty good state last time I played. We kind of solved almost all of our problems. The one thing that we have going on at the moment is that the city is in a positive state with all of the jobs and unemployment situation, etc. However, we're kind of coasting along with the money situation. You can see here the budget we are in. We are actually losing money per month. Okay, so perhaps the raw ore and the coal, I think. Are we doing coal yet? We haven't started doing coal, have we? No, we haven't, because I was going to build coal all the way up here. Okay, so the raw ore isn't making enough money to make this city profitable. So we've solved all of our problems, and we'll go through that quickly. You'll see here we've got no unemployment, no unsatisfied shoppers. We even have 7 people who are not supposed to be enrolled. So we have more people in school than we have students, which is interesting. But everything is good looking at those charts. We do have a few homeless people. Traffic in the city looks to be good. You can see it's getting a little congested now because people are heading home from work. I'm going to guess that's what they are. Let's just pause that for a second and bring up the data map. Yep, you can see that they're all workers coming back from work, and there they are leaving the buildings. Now, one of the things in the 3.0 patch that's supposedly been changed is workers will now work different shifts. Okay, we have a hazmat fire over here. If I remember correctly, we had lots of them and I just kept rebuilding it because there wasn't really too much consequence to that happening at the moment. But yeah, supposedly workers will take more, how would you say, rotated shifts, so you don't have loads of people travelling in and out of work at the same time, which is a pretty smart thing to do. And now we should just bulldoze that. And oh, we can see where a couple of our homeless people are. They're all down in the residential areas by the looks of it. And that looks like more than 22 to me, and we've got a couple of abandoned buildings here. I don't know if they were... Okay, no, we've still got 22. I was just wondering if they were abandoned a moment ago. So, I read a comment that says when you demolish the buildings like this, that more homeless people will come out of them. So, I haven't seen any on the chart there. And in a moment we should have new buildings appearing. Well, maybe not. But if we go down there, there's still 22, so... Maybe it's only the case sometimes. But we really need to sort out the situation here in the city because we're not making enough money, and I need to push up the income. You can see here taxes are very low. So that's one place I'm going to look to for more money. And if we just have a look at the right map, which I'm not sure is what one it is at the moment, so I'm just flicking through them. There we go, it's the residential one. So if we're to raise residential taxes, we're probably going to have people down here losing some money. Although they do actually have a fair bit, you see. When you have rich people in the city, these numbers here, like in the thousands, distort how much these people down here have, because it looks like they've got next to nothing, whereas actually you can see there they've got 146, and that one's got 9. That is actually pretty damn low. But I think we're good to raise taxes in general. Just got to keep my eye on things. Again over here, see 13, it's not as low as it actually looks. So I mean 13 is, but we could definitely take away money from these people. So we're going to go up 1% for now. Will be good to raise commercial and industrial as well, I think. And so that has made not too much of a difference. I think what we have to do is turn off some of our services. So if we look at education, a lot of money is going into that. How many people are actually in school? So 950. Don't know why 100 came into my head then. And here they taught 588. So that means we could get rid of perhaps 200. And I think one of these buildings is 200 students. However, that's really cutting it close, but we need to find money wherever we can. So there's potentially 200 we could save on education without really rolling back too much on that. Okay, well now we're in the positive again, and I think that's just where the transactions haven't come in for selling raw ore. They haven't come in at the right time, so it looks like we're actually making a negative when we're not. So at the moment it could be a case of just sort of cruising it out for a while, playing off camera and just letting time go by and building up some money, because what we want to do is make a smelting factory, I do believe, and then when we set up a coal factory, our ore and our coal will make us, we'll smelt it into alloys, and then all of a sudden the money will really start rolling in. But we still need to trim this budget. So there's government buildings are costing a lot, and city specialisation and health as well. So the government and waste disposal. We can't shut off this. That's one thing I've learned in the previous game, that you can't shut down these particular things, otherwise it will stop whatever they affect from working. So if I shut down the educational building, it means our high school would stop, I think. Oh, I'm starting to doubt myself now. Okay, it doesn't matter. So we can't really cut back there. Actually, we could turn off an incinerator for a while, and then the dump capacity would fill up a little bit, so then we could turn it back on. And that saves us 300 per hour, so that's a nice amount to save. Maybe we could turn off a couple of buses. Let's have a look at how much people are using it. It's gone back down. However, we don't have traffic problems, so I'm going to guess that we could actually save ourselves a few buses here. So that one's off, that one's off. Okay, let's turn off an extra 2 of these buses. One thing I've noticed they do is they tend to follow each other around as it is. So unless you have a ton of bus stops, you're not going to need all of them. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, where else can we trim back a little bit? Power, we possibly could if we have a surplus of power. Let's see. Nope, we're actually cutting it pretty close. We've invested in solar panels over here as well, and we still had the wind power farm. See, I was trying to convert over to that one, but I don't think we're going to be able to trim anything there at all. Education is still the one costing the most. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all we can do. If I see anything else, I'll make some changes. I'm also probably going to turn up the taxes on the residential bit, but I've got to play that one close and keep my eye on it. So, and now I think it's time for a cut. I think what we need is a large amount of money. Let's just double check what it is we actually do need. It's one of these buildings here, the smelting division. So that will allow us to build a smelting factory. So we need 200,000, and it costs 400 per hour, but we can just turn it off. This thing is also turned off at the moment. And so then when we get the smelting factory, let's see, ore mine, coal mine. It might be a good idea to get a coal mine first of all, because if we get that, we get a little bit of extra income from the coal that we sell. That should cover the costs of running it, so it would increase our income per hour. And I don't know, maybe that's a good idea. But you can see the smelting factory costs quite a lot. However, once we have one of those, we will seriously start earning money. So actually what we're going to do first is put in the coal, and then we'll see what happens, and I might have to do some just playing off camera. So coal is going to go somewhere over here, we know that. Okay, so somewhere there. Okay, a natural disaster of some sort is hitting our city, which is just what we wanted. We would put the other one over here, by the way, after. Anyway, let's see what damage this is doing. I don't like how close to our clinic that is. Although that one's been shut down anyway. Oh, big one hits in the middle of the city. I think this has happened before, We've had one of those come in and it's completely missed everything. Okay, so we're going to destroy this road here, extend it to that one over there. And I can't help but feel I got something wrong with the traffic this time around with these roads in the middle, because on my previous games no one used these roads at all except for the emergency services. However, we put them in these positions, which seems to work better. And we've got a crowd of people walking over here, that's cool. And it looks like the amount of homeless people have gone down. Let's just check that quickly. Yep, they have, and doesn't appear to be any problems emerging there. That's one thing you got to do, regular checks on everything. So power's okay, water's fine, sewage is good, garbage collection is fine. Yep, everything looks just about fine. Let's have a look at health as well. Quite a lot of people getting treated, that's good to see, because health is one of the difficult ones to do, in my opinion. So everyone is enrolled. Okay, so absolutely everything is fine. That's great. Okay, and now we're going to build our road going across. Hold down shift. Okay, that is exactly what we want. And now it's going to be a case of keeping our eye on that road and just seeing how many people start using it. Yeah, because now workers who are working over here are going to go straight across the middle. So we keep our eye on that. And I think I want to upgrade these roads down here as well. Looks like they were getting a little overwhelmed a moment ago. So just that there should do. We do actually have to be careful with our money, doing little upgrades and things. So we're going to build the coal factory. Where is it? Right there. I think that's the way to do it. Except we're not supposed to build on the side of an avenue. Yeah, that'll cause us traffic problems. So what I want to do is actually turn that to the side slightly. Let's go back. So we want to put a road. Okay, I'm just keeping my eye on the screen on where we want to put that. I think it's right there. So we'll come out at a right angle like that, and then we can put our coal mine on there. Yep, there we go. So that's going to reduce traffic problems, having the extra road come out the side. And now it's a case, I think, of adding, not a delivery truck, we need a sign. I can't remember if I talked about that, but supposedly adding signs will help with traffic, which is a strange thing, but I guess it makes sense. So I do want to add one of those. It's only 25 per hour, so we're not really eating into our budget too much. So it's just a case of how much it costs. And then that means we produce slightly more coal, and then we can send the coal over here and export it. So we're going to need a yard for the coal as well. And it's good, this bit, because all of this is quite cheap, and we don't have enough, of course. Okay, so let's have a look at the situation here. We're actually full on raw ore, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're almost full over at these two places as well, which we are. So we need more delivery trucks, and we've reached our limit, which would then mean that we probably need another yard. Okay, so we actually have a problem in the city, and we are not selling enough of our raw ore, which means we could make a lot more money. Let's have a look. See, we're still in the positive, but that could be a lot higher. So I think we should build another trade depot, a temporary one. You can see here it's yellow. I should have kept my eye on that. We're going to put this one... Oh, I can't click on it? Yep, I can, okay. And it only costs 10,000, which is great. We'll put this one over here as well. This one's going to be temporary. In fact, if it's temporary, why don't we put it right outside the coal here? There we go. We won't put it on the avenue like we did the last one. Okay, so we'll have a coal lot here. We could also move our alloys over to this one. In fact, we have freight and alloys, and just this one's closer to the ore, so that would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, let's get rid of alloys. Let's demolish that, and we will add. I've just realised that's probably not the right thing to do, but we're going to add ore because we can store more ore. Then where is it? It's that one there. But the problem is we're not shipping it out as fast as we're producing it, so I'm still going to need an ore lot over here for the overflow. So this one needs 1 ore and possibly 2 coal. Except I can't seem to locate where coal is. Okay, it doesn't have like a coal piece like in Minecraft. It has what I think looks like a little barbecue stand. But we'll have 2 of those. And that's our limit reached. We're also going to need a ton of delivery trucks to get this stuff out. I say a ton actually, I think just an extra 2 would do for now. And there we go. So now Our city's doing fine. We've identified the trade problem. We've addressed it with the extra trade port. We're also going to do the coal. And so now it really is a case of me sitting back, playing off camera for a bit. I'm going to make sure everything's fine in the city. I'm going to keep my eye on keep my eye on the trade and see what's happening with it. Make sure that all of the ore is being exported. We should start to make a lot more money, and then hopefully we can build this up and make enough to get ourselves a smelting division. And yeah, smelting division headquarters and a smelting factory, and that's going to cost us about 250,000. So we want some money to be secure on. So I'm going to aim for 300,000. So I'm going to play off camera for a bit, and hopefully when I come back I'll have 300,000. Well, we are cruising our way to 300,000. You can see here we now have enough for the HQ and the smelting building. However, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that have happened in the meantime. Now, I've been keeping my eye on these buildings down here. They've been really unhappy, and I made some changes to that have kind of helped with the problem. Now, one thing that I noticed is that the people on this side were happier than the people down this end here. So I thought that maybe they were far away from shopping because one of those unhappy houses was complaining about it. And so you can see here I built a couple of shops in the middle. That made a difference for a short amount of time, and it made the people over here happier, but it keeps changing. So it seems like these first few buildings are fine, but I can't get any stability with these ones over here, and that one's now on fire, which is great. I've lowered taxes again as well because we're making lots of money from selling coal and ore. So yeah, basically I don't have a solution for this down here, but I do have one idea that maybe because they're further away from work, because this is a larger block than usual, they have to travel all the way down here to go along this intersection. Maybe that had something to do it. So I added another one here. That doesn't seem to have made a difference so far. I think I might add another one over here and give them an opportunity to get to work quicker and make more money, but I don't know. Just feels like this area here is a little bit bugged out and I can't figure it out. But everything else in the city is just fine. I've been keeping my eye on all the different things. Garbage was falling a little bit behind. We had a problem with the alloy here getting backed up, and that's because I didn't have an alloy plot for trade, but I've yeah, adjusted that now, so hopefully that's going to be okay. And I just need to keep my eye on these numbers down here because we might need a couple more garbage trucks, although I think it's just backed up a little. It does seem like traffic in the city is a little worse, I've got to say. So that's the reason that I added a few extra buses. I just want to see what's happened with that quickly. Okay, so my riders per day has now gone down after adding more buses. You see, I don't think I should have shut this down at all. Let's see if we can open up a couple more. In fact, we might as well open all of them because I really need people to use the buses. And another thing that we could try later on is the streetcar. Now, I didn't get it to work really with this layout, but my thoughts were if we had streetcars along here and then across this way but not going through the middle, then the only way the streetcars could ever go is in a loop around the city, which should make them very efficient for picking up people and dropping them off. Because one of the problems with streetcars is if you have lots of turnings and lots of ways for them to go down, the AI just kind of ends up, you know, sending them down every street and causing lots of traffic problems. So a streetcar system might work out if people are going to leave their houses over here, walk up to the avenue and get on the streetcar. If they did do that, it would be really good, I think. So that's something we could try out. And now I think I've just clicked on them, so we'll just say no thanks. But we have our 300,000. We have well over 300,000. And now these buildings are on fire again. Okay, so no unemployment. That was loud. Everything's just fine. And so I'm thinking when we build these smelting factories, maybe we can get rid of these industrial areas here. But before I actually build them, I really do need to think about, you know, the position, because it's going to be not a temporary thing. Like the ore over here is kind of temporary, so's the coal. Actually, it probably will be temporary because it will rely on those, although I might end up importing goods to create the smelting in the future of the game. I don't know. It's not important right now, I guess. So we will build a smelting division, and we will put that next to this one. Or maybe we'll put it on the other side of the road, you know. There's not much I'm going to be able to fit in there, and that happens to fit nicely. We could even put it all the way up there next to the educational building. I think we'll do that. And that'll look cool for people coming into the city, you know, having all of our big headquarter buildings around here. Okay, right, so now what we want to do is actually turn that off, which I think it is by default because it's a part of this. So that's fine, that's 200,000 gone into that. Now we can build ourselves the smelting. Okay, so that is all we actually have time for this episode. Next episode we'll be building that smelting factory, and we're going to see how much money we make from that. It's going to be a lot, I'm pretty sure. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.